When a person lacks empathy, there are no boundaries. They can harm you and feel nothing. They can betray you and sleep peacefully. They can exploit your kindness, twist your pain, and still see themselves as the victim. Empathy is the soul's conscience. It's what stops us from becoming predators in human skin. Now, without it, people become performers of goodness. They imitate care, but they never carry compassion. They can say, I love you, and not mean it. They can cry tears without remorse. They can study your emotions only to weaponize them later. A person without empathy is dangerous, not because they're powerful, but because they feel entitled to your suffering. They don't see others as lives, they see them as resources. And once your usefulness expires, so does their loyalty. That's why discernment is spiritual armor. Don't judge by charm, words, or presentation. Judge by consistency, presence, and the way they handle someone who can't benefit them. Because empathy is the one thing that separates manipulation from love, performance from purpose, and humanity from predation. When someone lacks empathy, you're not dealing with a person who's just cold. You're dealing with someone whose internal compass is broken. They can see you bleeding and call it art. They can watch you drown and label it your lesson. Empathy is the sacred restraint that keeps power humane. Without it, people stop being human. They become actors rehearsing morality. And that's the danger. They look normal. They quote light but live in shadow. They mimic care, but it's imitation love, rehearsed affection, strategic compassion. They study emotion only to exploit it. They learn your frequency, then use it to feed themselves. They wish to harvest from you. A person without empathy is a shapeshifter. They adapt to whatever gets them access. They can charm a healer. They can seduce a mystic or infiltrate a chosen circle with language that sounds divine, but energy that feels off. They don't love people, they manage them. They don't connect with people, they collect them. Every relationship becomes an experiment in control. If you ever wondered how someone could betray you so easily, you're assuming they felt what you felt, but they didn't. They only understood the performance of feeling. Empathy requires reflection, but reflection requires depth, and some souls are shallow by choice. The chosen are born with hyper empathy. You will feel, they feel what others hide, you feel what others hide, but you sense the tone behind the tone, and you can read the silence between their words. But that sensitivity is both your weapon and your wound, because where others see red flags, you will see potential. Where others run, you will stay to heal. And while you're patching their pain, they're mapping your weakness. The chosen must learn compassion without boundaries becomes captivity. Your love shouldn't require your destruction. Your light was never meant to be consumed, it was meant to illuminate. And so discernment is empathy's guard dog. It asks the questions your heart refuses to. It sees the truth before the charm. It's how the chosen survive, the spiritually bankrupt. Without discernment, your empathy becomes open access, and every unhealed person will see you as their next resource. Discernment isn't judgment, it's intelligence with intuition. It doesn't just ask, who are they? It will ask, what do they want with me? Every chosen soul must cultivate this radar, because once your presence heals people, the broken will come running. Not all of them come to be healed. Some come to feed. Watch how they treat what they can't use. Watch their eyes when someone else succeeds. Watch how they react when you set a boundary. Empathy-less people expose themselves through entitlement. They mistake access for ownership. You let them stay in your house and they'll believe they own it. They expect forgiveness without repentance. They demand loyalty without returning the same to you. Their relationships are transactional disguises. They don't give, they harvest, they feed. And once you stop being their supply, they start to smear you. Discernment allows you to detach before destruction. Empathy deficient individuals lack the emotional circuitry to register another's suffering as being relevant. They compartmentalize conscience. They intellectualize pain, but never integrate it. That's why apologies feel scripted. There's no internal correction, just damage control. Empaths often mistake that discernment as emotional maturity, but it's not calm. It's vacancy. It's nothing there. It's the absence of accountability. You can teach empathy to a soul that benefits from its absence. Only experience and consequence can. You can't teach empathy. Spiritually, empathy is sacred technology. It's how souls communicate without words. It's the current that connects the divine in me with the divine in you. When empathy is absent, that connection breaks. And where connection breaks, manipulation moves in. That's why the chosen must be spiritually literate. Don't just hear words, feel the vibration from them. Because the counterfeit always copies language, but can't copy frequency. Discernment allows you to sense counterfeit light. It's how prophets, healers, and truth tellers stay alive in a world that profits from deception. Your empathy is not your weakness, it's your code of divinity. But you must encrypt it with wisdom. Learn to feel without absorbing, to love without rescuing, to listen without losing yourself. Discernment doesn't harden you, it sharpens you. It teaches you how to preserve your essence in a predatory world. Because when you can see through manipulation without losing compassion, you've mastered spiritual maturity. To every chosen one listening, guard your empathy as treasure. It is the evidence that your soul still remembers heaven. But remember, heaven also defends itself. Boundaries are holy, discernment is divine, and safety is sacred. You are not paranoid for feeling what others ignore. You are being protected. You are being trained by truth, and you are chosen for this awareness. Because when a person lacks empathy, there's nothing they won't do. But when a chosen one walks in discernment, there's nothing they can do. Thank you for visiting my channel. Stay covered, stay conscious, and stay undefeated. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.